This is the Reviewing Network Live, a weekly stream of consciousness recording session where I sit back with you folks out there, talk about some of the big news stories from the past week, and some other things I found that might be of amusement to you out there. I think you might get a kick out of it. Now, these are more like audio podcasts and are much longer than my usual videos and are also, for the most part, unedited and will contain some foul language. So, if you're easily offended by that, I advise you to maybe step back a bit, maybe go somewhere else. But hey, if you're up to the challenge, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Thanks. And for the 27th time ever, real live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Reviewing Network Live, the Oscar show. Of course, tonight is the 96th Annual Academy Awards, and that will take up the full episode in general, because we're going to be watching the Oscars as it goes on. I'll explain how I'm going to do this, because I did this last month with the Super Bowl, and this is going to be a little bit different, but pretty much the same way that I did it there. But I'll talk about that in just a second here. But you might have noticed that I was away last week. I didn't have any new Reviewing Network Live episode. I had some other videos I put up on there. And for those of you who have not been to the other channel and are only watching these videos in particular, these shows that I do, and wondering where have I been the last week, well, I'll run this real quickly because I've kind of explained it over on the other channels. But basically, last week my grandmother died. She would have been 86 years old this month. And she'd been acting very weird the last couple months, and a couple weeks ago, it was just getting to the point where we kind of knew the inevitable was coming, that she was going to pass away. And she passed away not this last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. And so we had the funeral that week, and she died on that Tuesday, and we had the wake on Thursday, and then she was buried in the cemetery on Friday. And so we've been mostly cleaning, going through the house, going through her house, and doing the grieving process as well. Now, if that wasn't enough for that to happen, half my family got food poisoning on Thursday night because we went to this restaurant after the wake, and we all and not all of us, but most of us got sick. I know in particular, I was one of those people that got sick because the night we went out, my legs started feeling weird. They couldn't stop moving while I was sleeping. I was getting like cramps in my stomach, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. I puked a couple of times, and luckily I didn't really ruin any. I didn't ruin any shirts except for one, which basically. That basically happened, and Thursday and Friday I was just feeling really, really terrible, and it's not like I can stay at home and just shake it off. No, I had to go to my grandmother's funeral on those days. So yeah, I had to pull through. I got through it, but Friday I was just like so tired, and I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to lie down. I actually slept for a couple of hours. And then by Saturday, I was feeling a whole lot better. And by that Saturday, I was feeling better. And then I found out that some of my other family members got sick too, and they had not been feeling very well either. So I wasn't the only one that got affected by it. But needless to say, that week was rough, and just, I don't know, 2024 in general has been rough for me personally. For obvious reasons, I'm losing family members. I'm getting sick on numerous occasions. I just got out the cold too, a couple weeks before that too. So this is the second time I was sick all year long, and so far this year. We're only 2 months into 2024, so yeah. Needless to say, the year has started off pretty rough for me, and it's only March, which probably means it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better, if it gets better at all. But I just wanted to clarify to some of you out there who just watched me specifically through this show, where was I last week? Why wasn't there a show? There wasn't a show because, lost a family member, and then I got violently sick. So I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm not sick anymore. So that's why I'm able to continue to have a show for you ready today. And I would have done it anyway, because of course we have Oscar night here going on right now. It's about 5 o'clock right now at the time of recording this, so we're still about 2 hours away from the actual show starting, because the Oscars actually starts early tonight at 7 o'clock. So around 7 o'clock I'll start doing the little segments here, but I'll talk about that in just a second here. But let's get to the one thing that I do like to cover here every week when we do this show, and that is the weekend box office. The top five has gotten a lot more interesting in the last couple of weeks compared to the last time we saw it, because we have bigger movies out there, and this week was pretty packed too. So let's go ahead and run through this top five real quickly. And starting off at number 5, we have the number 2 movie from last week, Bob Marley, One Love, which dropped down to $4.1 million this week. Total gross so far, $89.3 million domestically. The worldwide gross is up to $160 million worldwide. It's a hit movie. It's probably going to make about the same amount of money that Rocket Man did a couple of years ago, which was, I think, around $95 million. But I mean, it could hit $100 million. Actually, now that I think about it, it probably will hit over $100 million. It's still in the top 5. So maybe it'll actually do better than Rocket Man the more I think about it. But let's get to some of the newer releases, the movies I've yet to cover on here yet. We have 3 new releases this week, and they're all in the top 5 here. So let's go ahead and start with number 4 here. The people that brought you Sound of Freedom are back with a brand new movie called Cabrini, which I know nothing about. I've never heard of this movie, but I know it's by the same people that made The Sound of Freedom. It's made by the same studio that made The Sound of Freedom, Angel Studios, and so this movie in particular is basically, reading the plot synopsis here. After witnessing disease and poverty in the slums of New York, Italian immigrant Francesca Cabrini embarks on a daring journey to persuade the hostile mayor to provide housing and health care for hundreds of orphan children. As she explores resistance to her charity and business efforts in New York City, explores the sexism and anti-Italianism faced by Cabrini and others in New York during the late 19th century. So, I've never heard of this movie in particular, but it's made by the same studio that put out Sound of Freedom, which probably means it has that same system they had with the Sound of Freedom. Didn't do so well, though. I mean, I shouldn't say it didn't do so well. I mean, for a movie that I had never even heard of, it made $7.6 million, which on paper doesn't sound too bad per se. And I literally love this. I'm looking at the Box Office Mojo page right now. Guess how much the international gross is right now? $69. I wish I was kidding, but it literally says $69. So if you take $7,565,038 and add $69 to it, it takes it up to $7,565,107. I just find that really hilarious for some reason. But on paper it doesn't sound bad, but then you take a look at how much it cost. It cost $15 million. So yeah, not the best opening for that particular film. Sound of Freedom at least cost $14 million and made back over $200 million. So they at least made money on that. The studio also puts out the Chosen movies as well. But this, I think they bit off more than they could chew, and this is one of those things where it just looks like a film that did not really feel like it felt like a film that did not look. The marketing really wasn't there, and for a movie that cost $50 million, would feel like you put more effort into it. But I mean, the good news is that it has really good reviews. It actually got a lot of positive reviews. I'm looking at on Metacritic, it got a 50. They got Rotten Tomatoes got a 90% on there, which I usually don't like to compare Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean 90% on that is not bad for this movie, especially considering what The Sound of Freedom did. Cinema score is an A, so I don't know. Maybe it might have the legs Sound of Freedom did. I doubt it. I don't know if it will, but you never know. Stranger things have indeed happened, and that could be the case with this. But I don't know. I think this movie might not make it. It's more likely it's probably not going to make its money back. So let's go ahead to a movie that will make its money back, even though the reviews for it have not been that strong. The number 3 movie this week, which is Imaginary. Now, the trailer for this actually looks pretty cool. it looked like is it has a good leading actress at the beginning, isn't it? DeWanda Wise, who I really like a lot. I've seen her in some movies and shows that I've really liked, but the story of Imaginary is the story of a woman returning to her childhood home to discover that the imaginary friend she left behind is very real and unhappy that she has abandoned him. And everything seems peachy keen and a-okay until you realize who the director of this movie is. From the same genius that brought you such classic movies as Cry Wolf, Never Back Down, Kick-Ass 2, Truth or Dare, Fantasy Island, Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, mind you. Yep, this is another one of those movies from the legendarily bad Jeff Wadlow. Like, I feel like McBain whenever he screams out the name from The Simpsons, when he screams out the name of Mendoza in the restaurant after his partner gets shot. You know, Mendoza. I feel like I need to do the same thing for Jeff Wadlow, because like, how does this guy still have a job? And more importantly, how does he still have a job with Jason Blum? Like, none of the movies that he's made have been praised at all. They have been trashed by critics, and audiences really hated. This one was definitely no exception. 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a C+ on CinemaScore, which, 31% doesn't really sound that bad, especially when you consider that stuff like Fantasy Island got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. Truth or Dare, I think, got a 15. Trying to see what his best reviewed movie is on here. Kick-Ass 2, I think, is still his best reviewed film, and it's probably his best. The more I think about it, it's probably his best film in general, because, yeah, it's not as good as the first Kick-Ass movie, but certainly kicks the crap out of some of the other movies that he's made as a filmmaker. But $10 million. It's a Blumhouse movie, so it doesn't really cost that much, even though $12 million is pretty expensive for a Blumhouse production when you think about it, when all the movies they made. But $12 million, this thing's going to make its money back. $10 million in total at the box office this weekend, so even if it falls off hard next weekend, it's going to make its money back no matter what. So, there you go. So that's Imaginary. Let's get to the number 2 movie, which was the number 1 movie last week, and that is Dune Part 2, which fell off, of course, because of the number 1 movie. $46 million, which is not that bad, considering it opened at $85 million last week. It's brought in $157 million domestically. Total worldwide gross is up to $367 million worldwide. The budget on this is $190 million, so they're okay. They're fine with this. This is going to hold on and stick around in the box office for a while now. It already surpassed the first movie's box office within the first week of its release, so they're good. They'll be fine. And this movie is incredible, by the way. I finally got to check it out this week, and I really liked it a lot. I definitely can see the comparisons to The Empire Strikes Back and The Dark Knight. It really is one of the best sequels I've seen in a long, long time. And this is come from somebody who liked the first Dune movie enough, but never to the point where everybody else really liked it. I felt like a lot of people liked it more than I did. I was just kind of like, it's good, but I just don't think they're going to make that sequel that they've been promising they were going to do. But lo and behold, here it is. And turned out to be pretty good. So if this was to end right now with Dune 2, I'd be okay with it, but I would like to see what they would do with another film if they get the chance to do it. And I think they are working on a third film, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were, after how well this is doing so far. I mean, this has already made $157 million in the first 2 weeks. So they're good. They should be able to make a third one if they really want to. But let's go to the number 1 movie this week, and this one's not really much of a surprise if you take into consideration all the things that it had going for it. But the number 1 movie this week, DreamWorks is back at it with Kung Fu Panda 4, which actually had the second highest opening weekend in the series, behind only the first film with $60.2 million. But this one here, Kung Fu Panda 4, brought in $58.3 million. The worldwide gross is up to $80.5 million. I don't think this has opened up in every market so far, but here's the surprising thing about this movie. The previous Kung Fu Panda movies did have a high budget to them. I think the last 2 had like $150 million budgets to it. This one's half that. I mean, this one's budget is $85 million, which is staggering to think about, considering that a lower budget would usually mean that the movie probably does not hold up. the movie probably does not hold up well in terms of like the quality of the animation and all that. But nevertheless, I mean, this is still pretty good for this movie, because the fact that this movie has is only cost $85 million, and it still looks this good. I mean, it still looks pretty impressive when you look at the way this film looks, the way it feels. I think it's because DreamWorks is they're cutting down on their animation. I mean, there's after this next movie that's coming out, The Wild Robot, which looks incredible. I've already talked about that one long enough on both of these channels, so I don't really need to delve into it too much more. But I think after that film, that's when they're moving on to, going to outside animation studios going forward. But Kung Fu Panda 4, man, I mean, this is a movie that is, I mean, it's very unnecessary, because the first three films, I think, are a perfectly set trilogy. I don't think you really need to do another one, but I mean, there's stuff here that actually does work here. A lot of it I really like. There are some little flaws here and there, but nevertheless, I thought the movie was good. I had a good time with it. I think as a fun matinee, it's definitely worth a watch. And it does set up another sequel. Apparently, like, when Jeffrey Katzenberg announced that this was going to be a franchise, they had 6 movies planned for it. So I guess this is going to lead into a 5th and 6th film. And I'm curious where they go with the direction of it, because it looks like Jack Black might bow out after a couple of films, and they'll leave it. They'll, like, pass the baton over to the Awkwafina character, who is very much the focus of this new film. But, I don't know. We'll wait to see what happens here. But nevertheless, they're definitely going to make a sequel, especially considering how well this did. But you can also look at it and see that a lack of family films coming out between this and Migration and Wonka, yeah, I think audiences were ready for a new family film. And Kung Fu Panda 4 just came at the right time. And it turned out to be a big hit for them. And DreamWorks needed it, because the last movie they made, Trolls Band Together, was not that great. And Kung Fu Panda 4 at least puts me back in the idea that they're on their way to the second renaissance of their studio, kind of like where Disney was a couple years back when the Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. And yeah, and it's got some time in the box office, because the next big competitor that will come out will be Ghostbusters, and that comes out on the 22nd. Next week, I think the big new competition is Arthur the King, which I see keep seeing the trailer for it. I don't think it's going to make that much money. I mean, Mark Wahlberg can be a reliable draw sometimes, but that just didn't look like a film that I think is going to have any kind of lasting power. But then again, you never know. We'll wait to see what happens next week, but don't be surprised if Kung Fu Panda 4 and Dune Part 2 are still the number 1 and the number 2 movie next week. So that is the weekend box office. So, yeah, it's Oscar time. So we are still actually, we're only about 90 minutes away from the Academy Awards starting as of the time of recording this. But, so the Academy Awards is coming up, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it kind of similarly to the way I did it with the Super Bowl. And I'm going to cut in whenever they do, like, the big 7 awards, Best Animated Feature, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture. And I'll have my reactions as those awards are going on here. But the other awards, I'll cut in during the commercial breaks, and give my thoughts on who won, what's going on in the show in general, because you want to hear about what the big 7 in particular, the big 7 awards here. And this year I think it's very easy to predict who's going to win the big 7 awards. At least I think it is. But I want to take this time right now to talk about my overall Oscar predictions, the predictions that I have here set. And usually with my Oscar predictions, they can be very hit and miss, but I think I've got a good idea for at least a majority of the awards here of who I think is going to win. So I'll start off with Best Visual Effects. I have it was a tough call between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Godzilla -1 for me. I think Godzilla's slightly the front runner here, but I'm going to say Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think it'll be close. If Godzilla -1 wins, I wouldn't mind it I wouldn't mind at all, because I think that is a film that definitely deserves the visual to win an award. But I'm giving it to I slightly give it to Guardians 3, because that was really the best aspect about Guardians 3 was the story of Rocket Raccoon during that film. Best Film Editing, Oppenheimer. Best Costume Design, Killers of the Flower Moon. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Poor Things. They usually like to give it to the period piece movies. I think Poor Things, that's probably the one award that I'm pretty sure we'll get. I don't think it's going to win a ton of awards tonight, despite the fact that it's the second highest nominated film this year. But Best Cinematography, I have Oppenheimer. Best Production Design, Barbie. I think that's one. Barbie's another one that has a lot of high awards here, but I don't think it's going to win too many of them. I think it's going to win this and one more award that we'll get to in just a second here. But Best Production Design, Barbie. Best Sound, Oppenheimer. Best Original Song from Barbie, I'm Just Ken, which the other song from Barbie, I think is the front runner to win it. But if you're going to choose between one of those two songs, wouldn't you pick I'm Just Ken from Barbie instead of What Was I Made For? Is that what the song's called? Let me see. Now I'm curious here. What Was I Made For? It was the other song from Barbie that's nominated. I think that's the one that's considered the front runner. But like I said, I think of the two songs, I'm Just Ken's probably the one that should win. It probably won't. I think Barbie's going to win an Oscar for song either way. But Best Original Score, Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. Shorts, documentaries, international film. I've never seen any of these movies in particular, so I don't know for certain which one's going to take. Yeah, I'm just guessing. Best Animated Short, I have 95 Senses, mostly because it's got Jared and Jerusha Hess, the people behind Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. I think they're going to win it just on that front there. Kind of the same reason why I'm picking The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar for Best Live Action Short, so that Wes Anderson can finally win an Academy Award. Best Documentary Short, I just picked the one run out of random. The ABC's of Book Burning. Best Documentary Feature, Four Daughters. Again, haven't seen any of the documentaries in particular. Best International Feature Film, The Zone of Interest, which is probably the highest contending one of the nominees in there. I mean, it's like every year now since Parasite, there has to be that one international feature film that has to take the main category vote. Minari had it a couple years ago. What was the one last year? All Quiet on the Western Front, which was really good. It was actually a really good film. But Best Animated Feature, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, not surprising. I mean, that swept the Reviewing Network Awards yesterday with I think I gave it 4 awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Animated Picture, Best Sequel. I think that's it. I think that's... Now I'm curious now. Yeah, it was 4 awards I gave it. I gave it Best Picture, Best Director, Best Animated Feature, Best Sequel. So, if you want to go check that out, by the way, I'll have a link to it down below. The Reviewing Network Awards for 2024. But, Best Adapted Screenplay, I have Oppenheimer. Could be one where American Fiction probably wins it. And, I mean, considering that Oppenheimer is more than likely going to sweep a number of different categories, I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't get it. This is probably the one surprise I have on here for Best Original Screenplay. I'm going with Maestro because I think it's time Bradley Cooper wins an Academy Award. I don't think he's going to win it for Best Actor. I don't think he's going to win it for Best Picture, as he's one of the producers. I think he might have a good chance of getting it for Best Original Screenplay. Probably will not happen. I think the front runner right now is Anatomy of a Fall, I think it's called. But I mean, I just have that feeling that could be the one where he wins the Oscar there. I mean, that's probably his best chance to win it if they actually give it to him. But Best Supporting Actress, this is where we're getting into this kind of the easy stuff to predict. Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I think that's kind of a given. I think Robert Downey Jr. wins Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. We could see history tonight, as Robert Downey Jr. would be the first SNL cast member to win an Academy Award. I'm not talking about like a cast member. I mean, I know Adam McKay won an Oscar for writing The Big Short, but he was a writer on SNL. But this will be the first time that a cast member from Saturday Night Live wins the Oscar for any particular award. So, Robert Downey Jr., I'm hoping is going to get the chance to win it. Best Actress, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. I think she's the front runner. Some people say Emma Stone might win another one for Poor Things, but I don't know. I think this is Lily Gladstone's horse to bet on. I mean, great performance in that movie. One of the best, easily the best thing about Killers of the Flower Moon. Best Actor, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. I think that's kind of a given. Best Director, I think Christopher Nolan finally wins his first Oscar for directing Oppenheimer. And Best Picture, Oppenheimer. I think that's going to be... I think Oppenheimer's going to have a great night tonight to win as many awards as it can. If there's any movie that I think could come close to that, maybe Barbie. I'm still on that theory, on the Argo theory, that because Barbie didn't get a Best Actress nomination for Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't get one for Best Director, maybe that's something where they'll look at it and say, you know what, we'll give it Best Picture because Oppenheimer is already going to win several awards already, but Barbie could probably win Best Picture, but if I had to choose between that and Oppenheimer, I'm going to put all my chips on Oppenheimer to win it all. I think it's going to win Best Picture tonight easily. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my Oscar predictions right there. They have not usually been that great for the last couple of years, but I think I've got this one down to a T. I don't see too many real surprises here. I think the ones that would ding me would probably be Best Original Screenplay, the documentary shorts, the live action and animated shorts, and the visual effects. I think those are the ones that will really hurt me when it's all said and done. But I think I've got a pretty good chance of actually doing something, is having a good night tonight in terms of my predictions. So with that said, still got a little bit of time before the Oscars start. So I'll see you when the show begins. Alright, so the Oscars are just starting here, and right off the bat, I gotta say, I was not expecting the stage to look completely different compared to other years, but I kind of like it. I like the gold flare to it. I actually like that it does look very different. Like, it's not like... It doesn't look like it has the last couple of years, and I kind of admire it for that. So I'm going to listen to the monologue now, and I think Best Supporting Actor should be the first award of the evening, since the Best Supporting Actress was the first award last year. So if that's the case, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, it looks like they're starting with Best Actress in a Supporting Role, so oh, that's right. They're doing this. They're doing the thing that they did a couple years ago, where they have 5 different actors come out, past Oscar winners, and they're going to do the thing where they give out the... They're going to talk about the actresses nominated. So let's see what happens. Davine Joy Randolph, I think, is going to be the person that gets this. So. Actually, you know what? I'll do this. I'll wait until they're done with the descriptions, because you want to hear what the award is about, so who wins the award. So I'll get to that just as it moves along here. Plus, you can watch this on YouTube anyway. So give me 1 second. I'll be back. I honestly did not know that was Mary Steenburgen, but wow, she definitely looks a lot different than the last time she won her Oscar. The last time I saw her in Back to the Future Part 3, but I know I'm cutting in here because I just wanted to say that, because it's just like, wow, she looks completely different. But anyway, I'll be back in a bit. I really am disappointed The Color Purple didn't get more awards recognition. I thought Taraji P. Henson was going to be a shoo-in this year for Best Supporting Actress. It's a really good movie, by the way. It's definitely very different than the Steven Spielberg one, but yeah, it's a shame that Danielle Brooks was the only one that got nominated, because I felt like that movie should have gotten a little bit more. Maybe not Best Picture, but it should have gotten a lot more than that. Okay, they're about to announce the winner, so let's see who it is. Yeah, Davine Joy Randolph. Finally just watched The Holdovers a couple weeks ago. She's actually really good in it. The movie actually is very good. Alexander Payne's directed it pretty well. And Paul Giamatti's bringing her up there. That's nice. Sorry to cut it off there a little bit. I want to be careful with what I put on there. I just wanted to make sure that I have I wanted to get the moment where they actually revealed the winner, and I got a little bit of her talking, but I didn't want to interrupt the, the ebb and flow of the show. It's like I said, I don't want to get copyright claimed on this pretty much, but let me see what this is, because it's got Ben Stiller, Naomi Watts, Adrian Brody, and Ben Affleck.
Did you follow that light anyway? And walk its path boldly?
Okay, it's a commercial for something I don't know for certain, but yeah, not surprising there. Divine Joy Randolph got not one for the holdovers, and I thought she was very good in it. I thought she deserved it, and I mean, it was weird to see like America Ferrera getting nominated for Barbie. I liked her in the movie, but I felt like they nominated her because of that speech she gives in the movie, which is a good speech and all, but I don't know. To me personally, I don't think that was more than enough to get an Oscar nomination, but I mean, what do I know? But I mean, I'd rather see them use that Oscar nomination for Barbie on Margot Robbie in the Best Actress category. It was for Rolex, by the way, that commercial I just was talking about. Just showed movie clips, but I don't know. That whole idea of the let's bring these actresses together and to talk about the people nominated. I don't know how to feel about that. For one, I think it's basically a bunch of gloating to these people about how great the performance is. I mean, why not just show the performance? I mean, honestly, why not just show the performance that they're nominated for? I mean, I mean, I get why they're doing it. It helps them. It basically gives them a lot more to celebrate about, even though if they don't win. But it was cool. I mean, I couldn't believe that was Mary Steenburgen there, because she looks really different. She kind of looked like Katie Sagal a little bit, and I just had to look and see, like, is that her? Is that Katie Sagal? And it's like, no, that's Mary Steenburgen. It's just like, it feels weird. I haven't seen her in anything too significant as of late, but last thing I saw her in, I remember, was Elf and Step Brothers. But she's been in some other stuff before. I just haven't really remembered what is. I don't remember anything too recently on the top of my head. But it was cool seeing her and Regina King, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Rita Moreno, and I can't remember who the fifth one was, but I can't remember who the fifth one was. I just saw it. Let me go ahead and rewind this back a little bit so I can see who it was. Because I have on Xfinity, I have the thing where I can rewind live TV so I can see who, just to see who it was again. Because I should know who Lupita Nyong'o. How do I forget Lupita Nyong'o? But yeah, no real surprises there. Divine Joy Randolph won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, which actually, now it makes more sense, because I think last year they started with Best Supporting Actor. I got it swapped around, because it's usually one or the other way around, but they'll probably get the Best Supporting Actor later on, as I see a commercial for Inside Out too, but so far, 1 for 1 so far, but let's see where it goes from there. They probably won't get the Best Supporting Actress until later on in the night, but I mean, we'll see. Back in a little bit. And we're back because we have Best Animated Feature Film coming up next. So it looks like it's going to be a two-horse race between either Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or The Boy in the Heron. I thought maybe Across the Spider-Verse will be the front runner, but I mean, we'll see what happens here. Now they're doing animated short first. Well, I didn't get animated short. I went to War Is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, which saw a little bit of that from the compilation. It looks pretty good, but I had 95 cents on that one, so 1 for 1 so far. But I'll wait for animated feature. Is that why I was getting all those weird Mother's Day messages on social media? Because, like, I guess it's Mother's Day in the UK. I had no idea, but because we have Mother's Day is in May here in the US, but I don't know. But I don't know. I guess that explains it. But anyway, Best Animated Feature: Boy in the Heron, Elemental, Nimona. Nimona, I think, would be cool to win, but I don't think it's going to happen. But Robot Dreams, and then Across the Spider-Verse. So let's hope for Across the Spider-Verse. Ah, Wow. I mean, I knew there was a possibility it was going to win, but that beating Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that's something. But you know what? Kudos to Hayao Miyazaki, man. So 1 for 3 so far tonight. That was the first real surprise of the night. I thought Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was going to be a lock for that one, but I guess not. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's very interesting. I haven't seen The Boy in the Heron yet. I keep hearing it's really good, so I can't really. It's not going to say it's bad or anything, but it's Hayao Miyazaki, man. Hayao Miyazaki usually will make great movies, but yeah, I gotta check it out at some point. So yeah, like I said, 1 for 3 so far tonight. So we'll see what happens as the night goes on. Back in a little bit. I will say this though: is anybody else really getting sick and tired of the Oscar presenters really just like saying that animations for kids? It's not made for everybody. Like you wonder you have to wonder if if animators really like. You have to wonder if Hollywood really does give a crap about animation or they don't, because man, I mean, that's starting to get sick and tiring. Like they keep pretending like animation is absolutely nothing of value whatsoever. Like it's only something there for your kids. It's just like it's not, man. Like Across the Spider-Verse, if that movie right there is enough proof that animation is for anybody, and that is in the. I'll tell you what it is, because I keep saying this, and I'll say it again, but I think people are scared that animation because it's kicking the ever-loving crap out of live action right now, and it's not even close. Like animation right now is just wiping the floor with most live action. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse was proof of that. You know, Boy in the Heron's an example of that. You know, like I don't get it, man. Like we want animation to be respected just like every other genre, but instead, you know what? People are just going to pretend like it's not. Just going to keep pretending like it's something for your kids, dude. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I know a lot of people are getting sick and tired of it too, and hopefully, like I don't know what Hollywood's thinking right now when they have people. It's like the Academy writers must just have something against the animation in general, because it's something that happens every single year. And it's just like it's just. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it at all. I just wanted to cut in again to talk about that, but there's still commercial breaks, so we'll see where they go from there. Back in a bit. Well, I'm doing absolutely horrible tonight. I thought okay. I knew I was going to get Best Original Screenplay wrong. I knew that Anatomy of the Fall probably was going to win that one, but I went with Maestro, thinking that Bradley Cooper, that was probably his one chance he was going to win an Oscar tonight. Now I know he's not going to win one, and he deserves an Oscar, man. Like, but he's not going to get it for Best Actor. He's not going to get it for Best Director, and he's not going to get it for Best Picture. As one of the producers on there, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get why it's so hard for him to win one, because he deserves to win an Oscar. But what I thought with adapted screenplay happened. Cord Jefferson won for American Fiction, writing the screenplay for that, but yeah, so Christopher Nolan doesn't win that one. Like I said, I'm doing horrible tonight so far. I've only gotten one right, and that's the easy one. Divine Joy Randolph winning for Best Supporting Actress. I didn't get animated short right. I got animated feature wrong. I got adapted screenplay wrong. I got original screenplay wrong. I'm 1 for... Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4... No, that's right. No, it's 5. Should be 5, yeah. I'm 1 for 5 so far. This is not looking good so far for me tonight, and so Oppenheimer is basically denied an Oscar that I thought they were going to get for adapted screenplay, but the night's still young for Christopher Nolan. I think he's got some other ones easily winnable. I think he's going to get Best Director. I think he is going to get Best Picture. So the night's not over for him yet. So stay tuned for more. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Poor Things segment of the Academy Awards. I mean, wow, I am doing absolutely horrible tonight. I've only gotten 2 out of 8. But Poor Things, 3 Academy Awards tonight. The one I got makeup and hairstyling. That was one that I thought that one was probably easily going to get it. With that one, you usually go for the period piece movie. What was the other one that got costume design? I had Killers of the Flower Moon, but instead I had Killers of the Flower Moon. That one I probably should have went with Poor Things maybe, but I thought maybe Killers of the Flower Moon was going to take that one. I chose that over Oppenheimer. Production design though, I thought Barbie was definitely going to get it, but guess not. And I mean Barbie and Poor Things had some really cool looking designs and set decorations overall, but wow, Barbie's only going to probably win Best Original Song, and that's it. And Oppenheimer's yet to win an award, too. This is very alarming, but maybe that's probably the only section that Poor Things will probably win anything. I still don't see it winning any of the big awards tonight, but God, I hope that doesn't mean that Ryan Gosling wins Best Supporting Actor. I mean, if Robert Downey Jr. wasn't nominated, I probably would say, yes, Ryan Gosling definitely should have won Best Supporting Actor, but I'm sorry. If Robert Downey Jr. doesn't win, I think that's just the Academy purposely denying somebody an Oscar because they were on Saturday Night Live as one of the cast members. But I will say, though, that the bit they did where they talk about the 50th anniversary of the streak, David Niven's talking and then somebody streaking in the background, because that was around the time in the 70s when everybody was doing the streaking. I thought it was going to be one of those jokes that got really awkward and unfunny at first, but as it went along, I will admit, seeing John Cena walk out naked with this big ass costume design envelope was actually really funny. I like I like the idea that they had there, and I like how quickly the costume change was. Like, he was naked, and then all of a sudden he has like the costume on him. I actually have a video right here from a Twitter from Discussing Film, actually shows the quick costume change, and let me see it real quick. This is my first time seeing this too. They got like 3 different people, and I think Jimmy Kimmel's also helping him out too, if I'm not mistaken. 5 people, actually. 22 seconds is all that took. That's it's actually really impressive. I do have to give them a lot of credit for that, because that was a joke that looked like it was going to crash and burn at first, but they found a way to make it funny, and I give them a lot of credit for that. That was actually really good, but and of course on social media you're going to have the people going like, why is Jimmy Kimmel talking to nobody? Because of course John Cena is there, but I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was actually pretty funny. So I'd be having much more of a funnier time if I can actually get the predictions right. 2 of 8 so far tonight. This is not looking good for me. I thought that I had a good opportunity. I thought I had a good idea of where everything was going to go, but nope, not at all. So hopefully the tide changes here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens as we move along here. I'll see you back in here in a little bit. Well, that segment felt kind of pointless, but so what was the point of that? I mean, yeah, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt are in The Fall Guy, which comes out in a couple months, and it's about a stunt guy, but I thought the thing that they were going to do at the end was going to say, hey, we're finally going to announce the best stunt category at the Academy Awards, but apparently not, so that was just a completely pointless segment when you really think about it, but I don't know. But hey, at least I got one. The Zone of Interest won Best International Feature Film, which again was one of those ones that really was not surprising. That was the big movie that was among the movies in that category, and it was nominated for Best Picture. And yeah, not really surprising at all that the Zone of Interest won Best International Feature Film. And more than likely, that's probably the only award it's going to get tonight. I don't think it's obviously I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. I don't think it's going to win Best Director. But yeah, it took me up a little bit. I'm 3 of 8 so far. Actually, yeah, let me double check this again. I think let's see, 1, 3, 4, 2 of 4. I hope you're enjoying this, by the way. 2 of 6, 2 of 5, 2 of 8, 2 of 6, 2 of 6. I've only gotten 3 right so far, and I think we've had about 8 categories so far, 8 or 9, but yeah, so far it's not off to a good start for me tonight, but we haven't gotten to the big awards yet. Hopefully by the point, we're getting to the point of Best Supporting Actor, and I don't know. But I will say this, though, like, the whole thing, like, people make a good point. There should be a stunt category. I think they announced during the show that there was going to be a best casting category in the future, if I'm not mistaken, if I read that correctly, but if I heard that correctly from Jimmy Kimmel. But why isn't there one for stunts? I thought there was going to be a stunt category coming up. I just didn't. I don't know. Like, I thought that was the whole point of the thing that they just did there with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Like, they were going to say, hey, at the end let's make the announcement that there's going to be a stunt category being put in there. I mean, they're putting one for best casting in 2026. So why not do the same thing with that? I mean, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I don't know. We're still down the road. I guess we're still down the road from that, but I would say make it happen, man. Like, stuntmen do obviously stuntmen do a whole lot of work there, but who knows? Maybe that would be the one thing that Tom Cruise actually wins the Academy Award for, because he does most of his own stunts, But yeah, I don't know about that. But I got one at least. I got one winner there with The Zone of Interest, winning Best International Feature Film. Probably the only award it's going to get tonight. But let's see what happens next. I think maybe Best Supporting Actor is coming up next, but I'm not entirely sure. But if it is, stay tuned. I'll be back in just a couple of seconds. All right, so now they are doing the Best Supporting Actor category. So we've got. I'm trying to remember who most of the nominees are. We have Robert Downey Jr., of course. We have Robert De Niro. We have Ryan Gosling, Mark Ruffalo, and I think Jeffrey Wright's the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Sterling K. Brown. Jeffrey Wright's nominated for Best Actor. I'm sorry. I apologize. So they're gonna do that thing where they they praise the nominees. So we'll find out in just a few moments who's gonna win it. Hopefully, it's Robert Downey Jr. I honestly hope this isn't the last time Sterling K. Brown gets an Oscar nomination. He's a damn good actor. If you ever see him on This Is Us, he's amazing. I'm starting to figure out why I'm not too keen on the way they're doing this. They're not really saying anything that new or that different that everybody else hasn't already said about each other. They're all just kind of saying the same thing. Like, they're praising the actor for their great works and the fact that you're finally getting recognized. Maybe that's why I'm not too keen on this just yet. But they're going through all of them right now. So let's see what happens. Is it me, or does Tim Robbins look like Joe Biden? Like, I see Joe Biden when I see Tim Robbins smiling like that. I can't be the only one that sees it. Whatever happened to Christoph Waltz? He won the 2 Oscars for the Tarantino movies, Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained, but he's only been in a couple of things that I've seen him in, like shows for Roku and all that. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here, but I want to see more of him again. I'm really nervous now. Here we go. Is it finally time for Robert Downey?
And the Oscar goes to Robert Downey Jr.
The curse has been lifted! The curse has been lifted! The SNL curse has been lifted! It's about damn time for Robert Downey Jr. Yes! I don't care whatever else happens the rest of the night. That's the night for me. The fact that Iron Man finally got his long-deserved Oscar. I'm really happy. That made the night. That's making the night for me so far.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, fellas. That's amazing. You only float one line. I'd like to thank my terrible childhood and the Academy in that.
I'm so happy, man. I'm so freaking happy, man. Like, the dog is clapping too. The dog from Anatomy of a Fall just clapped as well. Like, yes, like that moment right there was more than worth it. That moment right there makes up for the night so far, and like, I'm happy, man. I'm happy for Robert Downey Jr. I really, really am happy for Robert Downey Jr. After everything that guy went through in his life, and the career renaissance he's had ever since he took on the role of Iron Man, just pitch perfect. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so glad he won. I'm really happy, man. That was a great speech, too. Unfortunately, you couldn't hear all of it, but man, that made the night for me. That made the night for me completely. Like, I could lose every single other thing, his other category tonight, but the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is walking out an Oscar winner, I'm happy, man. I am extremely, extremely happy for him. And like I said, the Saturday Night Live cast Oscar curse is lifted. He becomes the first person in the cast of Saturday Night Live to win an Academy Award, which, it's amazing to think about it, because there has been a lot of great SNL performers who have been nominated for Oscars. Kristen Wiig, I think she was nominated for the script for Bridesmaids, but Bill Murray was nominated, of course, for Lost in Translation. He should have won for that. Eddie Murphy won for Dreamgirls in the year when, unfortunately, he lost to Alan Arkin, who was great in Little Miss Sunshine. Dan Aykroyd was nominated for Driving Miss Daisy, too. I mean, I don't know why. They just did not want to give SNL people Oscars, except for Adam McKay, who won his Oscar for writing the script for The Big Short. But, man, I'm happy for Robert Downey Jr. I'm happy that, hey, SNL finally has a cast member of one of the Not Ready for Primetime players winning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And how about Messi the dog clapping? Like, I don't know if that was CG or not, but that was hilarious. That's probably the best moment of the night so far, seeing the dog clapping for the Academy Award. Like, it's funny because I see a tweet from Michael Phillips from the Chicago Tribune saying, "Startlingly charismatic close-up of Messi the dog just now. Give that dog a 12-part series and anything he wants to eat now." Like, I really want to know what happened, is how they were able to do that, or was that a trainer that did that right on the spot, or what? But that was very interesting. That was a great segment. So, like I said, that was the one thing I was hoping for, Robert Downey Jr. to win his first Oscar, and he did it, and I'm so happy for him. We all should be happy for Robert Downey Jr. right now. So yeah, back to the show. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy didn't win Best Visual Effects, but like I said, it was a tough call between that and Godzilla Minus One, so I'm more than happy that Godzilla Minus One won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. Robert Downey Jr. and Godzilla win their first Oscars in the same show. I mean, how great is that? And you know what? I'm giving myself the extra point there for saying Godzilla Minus One. So my predictions will, when it's all said and done, will be the ones I get right, 0.5, because look, just bear with me because I'm really struggling tonight. But the last two not, but I did get Best Editing for Oppenheimer, so we're back in business here. Let's see, where am I at right now? I have 1, 2, 2 for 2, 2 for 3, 3 for 3, 3 for 4, 3 for 5, 4 for 5, 4 for 6, 4 for 7, 4 for 8 is 4.5 for 8. I don't even know if that's the right one, but I think but let me double check real quick. So I'm 5.5 out of 11 for the night. I'm giving myself that extra 0.5 because I said Godzilla Minus One was a close runner-up. So I'm giving myself that one right there. I'm not going to give it the full one, but we're back in business. We are back in business after what has been kind of a rough start to the evening, but we're getting there. We are getting there. But how about that? Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, that twins reunion, and the way they were just able to have banter between them and Michael Keaton. It's just like, someone get on a movie to put all three of them in there. Even if it's got to be Twins Twins 2, do that Twins sequel that you were going to do with Eddie Murphy, but instead of Eddie Murphy, make it Arnold, Danny, and Michael Keaton. Just make it happen, man, because that chemistry there was top notch. And Schwarzenegger and DeVito still can make you laugh, man. They can still really, really make you laugh. But yeah, we're slowly but surely getting back on track here. So the night is still young. We've got a commercial for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour on Disney Plus. Yeah, we're not gonna delve too much into that one in particular. Trust me, we've got enough overrated singers coming up on here with Billie Eilish. Like, next to Taylor Swift, I really do not like Billie Eilish. I've never really been that much of a fan of her work. I don't get the appeal. I don't know why she won an Oscar for one of the worst Bond songs with No Time to Die. But, and she's probably going to win tonight for the Barbie song that shouldn't win. I'm Just Ken should be the one that should win, just saying. But yeah. So, I don't have anything else I really want to get into on this, but, never, like I said, man, like, it's a good night so far. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. wins an Oscar. Godzilla wins his first Oscar, even though he's a character, but he wins it for Best Visual Effects. Someone said that if this was an international feature film, probably would have won. I probably could see it winning that category, but I don't know. Best International Feature Film, that's like up there with Best Picture. They don't usually tend to give it to genre films as much as they should. But, I don't know. If Godzilla Minus One was in Best International Feature Film, I would have been a proponent of it winning it. But yeah. So, do I have anything else I want to say before we get off of this segment here? But, I don't think I do. So, unless I have something else for you, I will see you at the next segment. Yeah, I knew that was going to screw me up in the long run. Those moments, if you're a Pittsburgh sports fan, when the Steelers are down by like 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden they start making this comeback, and you think, oh, they're finally going to get back in this game. They're finally going to get back in this game. And then Buffalo scores a touchdown in the final 5 minutes, basically ending your hopes and dreams. That was that last segment for me. I mean, my hopes and dreams are not completely destroyed yet, but I knew the second that I had the ABCs of book burning and $4 for document short and document feature, I was like that Ralph me, which was like, I'm in danger because I knew they weren't going to win. So, because I hadn't seen any of the documentary nominees, neither one of them, but The Last Repair Shop won Best Documentary Short with, I did not know that Chris Bowers was actually involved in that. I know him as a composer, and I know he's doing the score for that new DreamWorks movie coming out, The Wild Robot, which I've talked in depth about the last couple of videos. But then the 20 Nights in 20 Nights in Marpole? 20 Nights in Marpole, that's what it is, isn't it? 20 Nights in Marpole. It's like, I literally just saw it. I literally just saw what it was. I was close. 20 Days in Maripol. Yeah, that one, Best Documentary. Again, just those are the ones I just picked out of random because I had no idea. I had no idea which ones were the front runners. Honestly, the more I thought about it, but yeah, those are the ones I probably should have gotten. But so we're back to being kind of screwed, but we still got the big awards coming up. Cinematography is coming up next, so. The hope is that I'll get Oppenheimer for that one, and hopefully things will get back on track. But yeah, that dinged me a little bit there in terms of my predictions overall. But yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the next segment. So I will see you then. All right, we're getting back there. Best cinematographer, Hoyte van Hoytema won for Oppenheimer. How am I getting these names screwed up? But Oppenheimer won cinematography, so that's good. Wes Anderson finally got his long-deserved Oscar. He had to do it for a live-action short, but he won an Oscar for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. And it's incredible to think about that when Wes Anderson won his first Oscar. It's kind of like when Kenneth Branagh won his first Oscar a couple years ago for Belfast. It's just like, really? That's his first Oscar he ever won? Even tonight, like, I had no idea that Emily Blunt had never been nominated for an Oscar until she was nominated for supporting actress for Oppenheimer. And like, wow, it took her that long to finally get a nomination. But Wes Anderson finally has an Academy Award. It's about damn time, man. I mean, I've talked about Wes Anderson in the past, man. I've loved his work. I've been a big fan of his movies. I love his movies, even the ones where it's pretty much a Wes Anderson movie, but like, I like Asteroid City. I really like that a lot. Probably my favorite film of his is Isle of Dogs. Like, that's one where I think, like, it's a lot of what I liked about Fantastic Mr. Fox and more. I think Isle of Dogs is a very good film. Criminally underrated, honestly, because I don't hear people really talk about it all that much. But, man, it's a really good movie, and I'm really happy for Wes Anderson. I'm glad to see that he finally got an Oscar tonight, so we're slowly but surely climbing back there. Do I have anything else I want to say before we head to the next segment? I don't think so, but I see John Mulaney coming up next. He'll be coming up next with the next award, so I don't know what he's going to be presenting, but it looks like he's coming up next, so. And we've got a preview for Challengers playing right now, so I'll watch this, and I'll see you guys in the next segment. That moment when you realize that John Mulaney probably should be hosting the Oscars next year. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's been doing a good job, but Man, a guy like John Mulaney should be hosting the Oscars. I mean, the Muppets should be hosting the Oscars. I mean, come on, Disney, you own the Muppets. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it's not that hard to get somebody from within your company to host the Oscars. And like I said, I like Jimmy Kimmel, but there are so many options out there where you can get somebody like the Muppets or John Mulaney to host the Oscars. Because what John Mulaney did during the introduction to the Best Sound category, that was really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. I wish Oppenheimer had won Best Sound, but Zone of Interest won, because I guess it needed to win something else besides that. But yeah, I don't know how the Zone of Interest won over Oppenheimer for Best Sound. I mean, come on, like. But I will say this though: Ryan Gosling is putting all of his effort that he can to make sure that I'm Just Ken gets a consideration for Best Original Song, because this musical number is top-notch stuff, and this is something that needs to be the Best Original Song. Like, that needs to win the Best Original Song category is this tonight, but it's not. I'm going to tell you right now, it probably will not, but this is an elaborate production number. It's actually really, really damn good, but yeah, so there's that Best Sound, so let's wait and see what happens next. I keep forgetting that's David Alan Grier doing the narration tonight. They don't usually get a guy. They don't usually get guys like that, guys like him to do that. Like David Alan Grier is a seasoned character comedic actor, and like they usually get voice announcers that you're very familiar with. Like you hear movie trailer announcers do it sometimes, like commercial announcers. But I just realized that's David Alan Grier doing that. So we're coming down to the wire here. I didn't realize it, but we only have a couple more. We only have 4 more awards to go, 5 more awards to go after. Actually, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. 6 more awards to go, because we have Best Original Song, Best Original Score, Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture. And it's only 9:30 where I'm at right now, so we're moving pretty fast here. I mean, this is moving pretty faster than usual. So. Just wanted to bring those. Just wanted to say that. So let's go ahead and see where we go from here. See you at the next bit. So I'm just seeing right now on social media that apparently Robert Downey Jr. is getting slammed for not acknowledging Ke Huy Quan, who won the Oscar last year for Best Supporting Actor. I didn't see the clip in particular they're talking about, but I just saw it on here. But I'm just saying hold on a second. The Wild Robot trailer is playing right now. Give me 1 second. Man, I saw the trailer for that on the big screen when I went to see Kung Fu Panda yesterday. I got teary-eyed, man. Like, that trailer. I've seen that trailer so many times already, but man, I just can't wait to see that movie when it comes out in the fall. And I was actually surprised they had a trailer for it during the Oscars. But there was a thing where I guess Robert Downey Jr. basically didn't thank Ke Huy Quan, but a lot of people didn't realize that when Davine Joy Randolph won her Oscar earlier in the night, she kind of snubbed over Regina King when she got up on stage. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if it's a double standard type of thing or what, but yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is not the only one that didn't do something they probably shouldn't have done. But I just wanted to bring that up because I saw this article for it when I was looking through social media, but. The Oscars are back right now. They're showing Oppenheimer as one of the Best Picture nominees. So, see you in a little bit. Hey, Angela Bassett. Sorry we screwed you over with not giving you an Academy Award for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But please accept this honorary Oscar, which is basically the participant trophy of the Academy Awards. I mean, come on, man. Like, I feel like they gave Angela Bassett that honorary Oscar because they felt bad for screwing her over with losing Best Supporting Actress last year, which. Don't get me wrong, Jamie Lee Curtis definitely gave a good performance in Everything Everywhere at Once, and I'm glad she won an Oscar, but that was Angela Bassett's, man. That's like the equivalent of Sylvester Stallone not getting the Oscar for Creed and losing to Mark Rylance. Even though I like Mark Rylance and Bridge of Spies, I actually did like that he won for that, but or even Eddie Murphy losing to Alan Arkin. Again, Alan Arkin was great in Little Miss Sunshine. I thought he deserved to win an Oscar, but that was Eddie Murphy's all the way through. But I got two. I got one of the two. I got original score, Ludwig Göransson, and yeah, the other Barbie song won Best Original Song. Yeah. So now Billie Eilish now has 2 Academy Awards for songs that, you know, I hate that she won for No Time to Die, but I mean, the song she did for Barbie was fine, but I'm sorry. I Just Ken should have won. Like, that should have been the Best Original Song, especially after that performance, but hey, I'm not in the Academy, unfortunately, and not like my vote would have made a difference anyway, but at the same time, though, it's just like, I'm sorry, but that should have won. I'm Just Ken should have won Best Original Song. That definitely should have won Best Original Song. But, yeah, we're coming down to the wire here, and I have no idea how I'm doing with my predictions. I'm just going to say that I'm doing pretty badly because ones that I thought were surefire ones are not getting in there, and then even the ones where I took a guess on them aren't really flying out here. But we got 4 more to go: Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture coming up, and these should be ones I should be able to get. So this could be the deciding factor of whether or not I'm close with my predictions or not. But there's only one way to find out. We watch on and we wait to see what happens. So stick around. There's no way I'm going to have a winning track record on my predictions. I just finally did it while they were doing the In Memoriam segment, and I've only gotten 7 out of 19 correct so far. So even if I get these last 4, it's not even going to come close to getting close. I could probably get back to about the halfway mark, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to win this one. So yeah, this has not been a good night so far in terms of my predictions. But the ones that have won have been very fun for the most part. But yeah, they did the In Memoriam segment, and I'm sure right now there's everybody on social media going, "Where's this person? Where's this person? Where's this person?" And so on and so forth. I mean, just like it should be something where like. You think with all the names they had in the In Memoriam segment, you would think that they would get all of them in there, but I'm sure there's going to be some that are not in there completely. So I don't know. We will see. We'll see what happens when this goes out. But yeah, we'll probably get to the 4 final nominee. It's the 4 final nominations of the night: Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture. And going back to something that happened early in the night, I just saw this on social media. Somebody put up the 2 pictures of Mary Steenburgen from earlier in the evening. She's wearing the same dress she wore at the Oscars when she won her Oscar back in 1981. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even notice that, but yeah, it's definitely the same dress that she has on. So, and that's cool to notice. But waiting for the final awards to start. So when they do, I'll be back in a jiff. All right, so we got lead actor coming up next. So I think the nominees for this one were Bradley Cooper, Jeffrey Wright, Cillian Murphy was one of them. I'm trying to remember what the other 2 were before they start doing like the long introductions here. Coleman Domingo was another one. Paul Giamatti. So Bradley Cooper, Coleman Domingo, Paul Giamatti, Jeffrey Wright, Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy, I think, is going to get this one. So as soon as they finish the introductions, I will get the reaction for you. Well, Giamatti's another one of those actors that I really hope gets an Oscar, but I don't hope it's not this year, because I feel like they're going to give it, if they did give it to him, it would be just one of those things where it's like, here's an Oscar for your body of work, kind of like with Bradley Cooper. But, and they're talking about Bradley Cooper right now, so, alright, here we go. Lead actor in a movie. Yep. Absolutely deserved it. I find it kind of interesting these speeches are short and sweet and straight to the point. He's still going. I'm sorry. I thought they were about to finish up. Yeah, he really does deserve. He really did deserve to win this award. He was really great as Robert Oppenheimer. I thought he was very good in the movie. I talked about it before in the Reviewing Network Awards segment that he has a lot of range in this movie, and he has to play this role where he has to keep his composure for the most part, even though he's in a lot of situations where any normal person would be in completely outside of his normal boundaries of where he's at and all that. But I've talked in depth about this on the Reviewing Network Awards. I got to get back because the director category is coming up, and it's Steven Spielberg. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
At the very best, films can do more than entertain us. They can open our hearts to each other. They can show us
All right, this Christopher Nolan with a chance now to win his first Oscar.
and make us think about where we are going. We are so fortunate that this has been a great and eclectic year for movies and a tribute to all the places these 5 nominated directors have taken the entire world. Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan, Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. Jonathan Glazer, and the Oscar goes to Christopher Nolan.
Yes. It's about damn time. It's about damn time he gets an Academy Award. Just like it's about damn time, man. Like he's made so many good movies in the for much of his career. He's long been overdue for this. I mean, it's fitting Steven Spielberg gives it to him because Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is kind of like Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List in a way. And just as I'm making those parallels, they're showing Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan's first Oscars acceptance speeches as they're going to commercial break. I mean, just that couldn't have been more pitch perfect the way they handled that, man. Like I'm really happy Christopher Nolan got the Oscar. He long deserves, and hopefully that doesn't mean he's not going to get it for best picture as a producer. But I think Oppenheimer's got this in the bag, and one more, the Best Actress award comes up after this, and then it's all about Best Picture. So. Yeah, so, I mean, we're nearing the end of this. It's now 10 o'clock right now on the East Coast, so kind of about where we would be if the show would be if it was at 8 o'clock. It'd be 3 hours long, a little over 3 hours, but probably will end up around 3 hours, 30 minutes when it's all said and done. But yeah, Cillian Murphy, Christopher Nolan winning for Oppenheimer, just like kind of it's very much expected. I mean, I'm glad to see it finally actually came true, and these guys actually have Oscars that are well deserved. Stretching for some time here. Actually, I've got nothing else right now. If I have something else, I'll let you know. But I think the next time I'll see you will be for Best Actress. All right, Best Actress time. I think it's going to be a 2-horse race between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone, but I think Lily Gladstone's got this one. It's funny, I was talking about how Denzel Washington, I think, is the greatest actor we have right now, and I was thinking, who's the greatest actress we have right now? I can only think of 2 people in particular at the top of my head. Meryl Streep, who, The Simpsons makes a joke about Meryl Streep's versatility for a reason. I mean, she's a great actress. And I think Jennifer Lawrence, like, every time I see Jennifer Lawrence in something, I like that it's not the same character over and over again. She can be very action-packed, she can be dramatic, she can be comedic. I don't know, those are the 2 that really came to the top of my head. I don't know if that's really a certainty right off the get-go, but that's the one I always think of when I think of the best actor, the greatest actress we have right now. I think it's a tie between right now for Meryl Streep and Jennifer Lawrence, but I just wanted to bring that up since she was just presenting Lily Gladstone. Alright, here we go. Best Actress winner.
And the Oscar goes to Emma Stone.
Oh, wow. Emma Stone got another one. I figured that was going to happen, but wow. I'm impressed. Like, I like Emma Stone too, but man, I thought Lily Gladstone had that one in the bag, man. But hey, kudos to Emma Stone, man. That's the first real surprise of the night, really, when I think about it. But wow. Emma Stone won. Unbelievable. Oh, and her dress got broken too. I was wondering why she was looking like, can somebody fix this for me? Like, I don't know if the zipper was up or something, but like, wow. You know, as much as I want Lily Gladstone to win, I like it when moments like this happen. When somebody you don't expect to win an Oscar actually wins. And like Emma Stone is a great, like I said, she's a great actress. But I honestly did not think that she was gonna really win a second Academy Award tonight. But man, hey, that's the fun of this. Like, I like that it's not as predictable as it should be. And probably Emma Stone's really good in the movie. I haven't seen Poor Things yet, so I can't really say for certain. But man, you know, I'm a little bummed Lily Gladstone didn't win, unfortunately. But I feel like that's a performance where I feel like that should have gotten her the Best Actress award. But like I said, man, Emma Stone, I'm glad she won. I'm glad there was a little bit of a surprise there. But I really was pulling for Lily Gladstone to win. So that definitely will put me in the losing category in terms of my predictions, even if I get Best Picture right, which I'm hoping Oppenheimer's the Best Picture, but now I'm getting worried now. So stay tuned. That's a good joke that they just had. Jimmy Kimmel was just like, make sure you tear up that envelope so we don't have a confusion of, because the last time Emma Stone won an Oscar, it was Best Picture. And, of course, that was when Warren Beatty said they said La La Land instead of Moonlight. So now I'm getting worried now. Hopefully it'll be Oppenheimer, but you never know. It could get very, very interesting in a few seconds. That took us to the end of the show to get to our first Trump joke of the night. I'm impressed. But hey, that's good. That's good. Keep it down to one small thing at a time. But yeah. We're heading into Best Picture next. It's Michael Corleone. Al Pacino's presenting Best Picture. So I wonder if they're actually going to reveal the nominations, or are they just going to go straight to it like they did the first time they did this.
This is the time for the last award of the evening, and it's my honor to present it, Best Picture.
I always wonder what would happen if we had a tie for the Best Picture. I mean, it's like, what happens with Best Picture when everybody comes up on stage? Oh, they're going to open it now. Okay, here we go. Oh, it won! Like, what a weird way to present it, but Oppenheimer got it. Like, at least when Tom Hanks did it the first time around, we kind of already knew what the nominees were, and Al Pacino just opened it up and just like, oh, Oppenheimer, there it is. It's just like, yeah, Oppenheimer wins Best Picture. Well deserved too. Like I said, this is what the Best Picture should be. It should be one of the best movies of the year. And since Across the Spider-Verse was not nominated for Best Picture, Oppenheimer was my second pick. It's the best picture of the year, and yeah, more than well deserves it. I can already see people online getting peeved about Al Pacino saying who the Best Picture winner is. And like I said, it's not the first time this has happened. You know, Tom Hanks did it when they first had the 10 nominations, and Laurence Olivier did it back in the day as well, back in the 80s for Amadeus, back in 1984. So this is not really that surprising. I think he's drunk, but hey, like I said, the Best Picture out of the nominees won. And for that, I am extremely happy about that, as they show Messi about to pee on Matt Damon's star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But yeah, when it was all said and done, how did I do with my predictions? Well, not very good. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 right out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 wrong. I got 10 right, 13 wrong, so that wasn't even 50%. So like I said, like what really I think killed it was Lily Gladstone not winning Best Actress and Emma Stone getting it. That was the point where it's just kind of like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get to this point. But as far as the Oscars themselves go, I thought the show overall was about as good as last year. A lot of good performances did win. A lot of good things won. There were some ones that I was really kind of disappointed that didn't win. I'm sad that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse didn't win Animated Feature Film. The Barbie song that should have won didn't win. Lily Gladstone didn't win Best Actress. That kind of sucks. Oppenheimer didn't win Best Adapted Screenplay, but it still was the big winner of the night. 7 Oscar wins, including Christopher Nolan getting an Oscar, Best Picture. Robert Downey Jr. getting the Oscar he long deserves. Wes Anderson got his first Oscar for the first time. Godzilla won an Oscar too, which is really incredible to think about. But I thought the show overall ran pretty well. I thought there was a lot of good. Good in the show. Wasn't quite as good as last year's per se. I think definitely last year's show was much better. But a show like this is exactly what I want the Academy Awards to be. I want them to honor the really good stuff and not just go for the Oscar bait stuff. We don't have a Coda this year or a Green Book where that one wins Best Picture and you're wondering what the hell are these people smoking when they're thinking about this. But no, the show went pretty well. A lot of the stuff that I really liked did win, and I'm really happy for it. I'm really happy for all of that. It was a really good show. It wasn't a great show, but I thought it worked. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a very good job doing what he did best. He plays to the celebrities very well, and a lot of the jokes were funny. There were that many groaners throughout the night. There were a couple moments where I thought were going to be groaners, like the part with the John Cena bit, but they found something funny out of it, and I like that they did, and I like that they were able to find something funny, and I like that they waited until the very end to have at least one political joke about the former president, but it worked. I thought they kept it simple, straight to the point, and I thought the show ran pretty well. I thought a lot of good stuff won, and not the best Oscars, but definitely gives me a lot more hope that we're going to see more of these type of Oscar shows going forward. That we're not just going to see them giving mediocre Oscar bait films this high treatment anymore. I'm glad it seems like we're getting past that point now, But yeah, overall, impressed with the show overall, and good, not great. But I was really happy that Oppenheimer got the respect it deserved. Overall, a pretty good night overall. So with that said, let's go ahead and wrap this show up by doing what we usually do on this show at the end of the night, and we take a look at some recommendations for the week coming up. So it is a big new release week. I guess now we're in the situation where we're doing new releases every 2 weeks now, and they're putting out a lot of big stuff this week. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom comes out on Blu-ray this week. Anyone But You comes out this week. Some of the nominees tonight, The Color Purple comes out this week on Blu-ray. Poor Things comes out on Blu-ray. Rick and Morty Season 7 comes out on Blu-ray. Disney's Wish comes out on Blu-ray this week. True Lies, Aliens, The Abyss finally get the long overdue 4K releases that come out this week. So it's a pretty stacked week for new releases in particular. So it's going to be a very good week for new releases. If you're looking for some new stuff and new things to check out on physical media, this is definitely the week to do it. And definitely check out some of the winners, the Oscar winners as well too. So with that said, that's going to wrap this up. It was a very good time tonight. I had a good time doing this, and it was a lot of fun. And thank you so much for checking this out and listening in. If you want to hear more episodes like this, check out our playlist below. Check out some of the other videos we've done. Hit the like and subscribe button. And I will see you guys next Sunday night for another episode. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And until the next time I see you, we are out.